Hello and welcome to the PCM Tech Help Show. I'm your host, Craig Chamberlain. In this video, we're going to talk about the iOS 6. Now remember, these iCasts are for your personal viewing pleasure. Make sure you ask me any questions you might want to have answered, and I will do my best to get them answered for you. This series is just for you. Now in this video, I got a couple questions about the iOS 6. Is it really worth the update? Now you're going to hear a lot of criticisms floating around out there on Apple on this update. And it's really unfortunate because this update is a much needed update to the Apple operating system. Now what we're having here is a large amount of people deciding to apparently either jump ship or launch an attack against the Apple operating system, simply because they're huge on the Android operating system. But let's not let that deceive us. There are some advantages and features to both that are quite stellar, and of which Apple actually owns the market in stability and battery life still. And let's not let Android try to pull that wool over our eyes. Now, I'm not an Apple fanboy. I don't know if you've watched my videos before. There's things that they do that I don't like, and there's things that they do that I do like. I think there's advantages to their business model, such as, like I said, stability and battery life that come with the closed platform that they offer. But there's also disadvantages, such as the current release forcing people to actually move over to the new maps that they designed rather than use the old Google Maps. So here's a perfect example of Apple forcing an update that doesn't let you choose between the original maps and the new maps. So, I mean, you can go online and do a shortcut to Google Maps and all that, but that's all good and well. Now, I have a little list here down here so I can give you a basic idea of what's in the new iOS 6 update. I think they did a fantastic job. It's extremely stable for being a brand new release, but you got updates to the maps. Of course, that's the biggest criticized update that's out. The map themselves is a completely new revised Apple version of the maps. They moved away from Google Maps, and the reason they did this is probably because they didn't want Google to own their market for their map navigation systems. And so rather than being dependent on Google, they decided to jump into their own product. Now see, the problem is Google Maps has been around for so long that it's so comprehensive and so stable and so powerful that obviously it's a downgrade. So that's the first thing, is a heads up. So because you're going to be forced to adopt by Apple the new Google Maps system. And then when you actually open it up, it is a great new system. I think the navigation is awesome in it, and I think they did a good job. But it's not as comprehensive, and there's going to be things that are missing as opposed to the Google Maps system. Now remember, you can still create a shortcut to Google Maps by just going to maps.google.com. And then, at that point, you can actually just press the little shortcut button and create a shortcut to your desktop. Now, of course, you won't have the turn-by-turn navigation, but you'll still have access to the maps. On that note, we can move into Siri. Got a whole bunch of new updates, a whole slew of new updates. Facebook is now tightly integrated. You can stream your photos to different niches and different markets, so you can kind of selectively stream your photos. That's kind of an interesting feature. Passbook is another huge feature. It allows you to do boarding passes, movie passes, and event tickets and things like that, all tightly integrated into Siri as well, so you can look up things like that. Facetime has a whole bunch of new features. The phone has an option to send people directly to voicemail and to pass them up. The email client has a whole new list of revisions as well. And then you have updates to Safari and accessibility, such as finding your iPhone and things like that. Looks like the sun's coming out. Oh, look at that. Such as find your iPhone and things like that. So there's a whole slew of updates. I mean, there's 200 of them. I'm not going to go over all of them in this video, so let's not pretend that this update is not significant for Apple and it's not a good one. A lot of people are going to try to focus on the negative, and that's kind of what people do. But let's not, let's turn around and take a look at it. Now, you can just go to Apple's website and look at what's new. Just type in iOS 6, what's new, into Google, or pull it up. So that's all there is to this video. It is definitely worth the update. Make sure you check it out. And if you're really that hardcore on the maps, then, maybe not. So that's up to you. But that's all there is to this video. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you check out the iOS 6 update. I hope this kind of clarifies some things that are floating around out there about the iOS 6 update. Let's not get negative about it. Apple will catch up on the Maps market. Of course, it's a brand new product. They're breaking into it right now. But let's not ignore all the other significant and great updates they released in this one. And they're making good progress, I think, on the iOS 6. I'm very glad they released it now rather than at the exact same time as the iPhone 5. So, thanks again, and stay tuned. There's plenty more videos to come.